Utah will not be in the college football playoff.
Nope.
Ohio State
is. Yes, they're in.
Yeah, they're in.
I mean, unless the committee does something we have never seen them do and allows USC to stay in, even though it just lost, which I don't think they're going to do because they have always said that, conference titles or whatever are a tiebreaker in similar situations, but USC no longer has a conference title. Ohio State doesn't have a conference title, and they have half as many losses. And they've got a pretty good win over Penn State as far as the rankings are concerned. So Ohio State is in. And now there is, it's not going to happen, but there is an actual scenario in which we have a 4-team college football playoff without a single conference champion in it. If Georgia, Michigan, and TCU all lose tomorrow, it'll be either Ohio State, TCU, Alabama, Michigan, and Georgia comprising the field, and none of them will have won their conference.
Man,
what a system.
That's awesome. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would like for the conference championships to mean something, and this weekend they really don't. There's a reason why we're doing a reaction show on a Friday night. I mean, join us tomorrow at 2:30 as we preview the SEC title game between Georgia and LSU. Obviously, I'll be on there and I'm excited to do it. But no, I think you need to have some stakes in these games.
If you just made the conference championship a requirement, the conference championship games would just become playoff games and you would have an expanded college football playoff. But can't do that. That's been way too easy.
Exactly.
So what chance do you give Ohio State to get in here and wreck shop?
Well,
if it depends on the matchup. Actually, no, it doesn't, because if they're going to end up having to play, assuming Michigan and Georgia win, Ohio State's either playing Michigan again, which is beating it up 2 years in a row, or it's going to play Georgia, which beat up the same Michigan that beat it up last year and will probably beat the hell out of it this year.
They will be favored over Michigan if they match up.
Oh, I'm sure they will, and they'll lose again.
They could.
Yeah. Let's go.
Or it could go the way that Georgia Alabama went round 2 last year, right?
It's Michigan. Well, that's true. Blake Corum will be injured. Oh, wait. He was hurt in the first game.
Blake Corum as Williams. That's interesting. Huh. Look, they will not be a touchdown dog to Georgia. I can tell you that. It'll be less.
Mm-hmm. Ohio State will be a live team in the college football playoff. It's got a very good quarterback. It's got great wide receivers. It has very talented players. It is a live quote unquote dog in the playoff. It could beat Michigan. It could beat Georgia. It could beat TCU. Will it? I don't know, because they just seem to punch them in the face. They don't seem to react very well.
Well, I'm just saying 8 years ago, they did not win. In
2014,
they won their conference.
Mm-hmm. But that team
had a loss.
That team wasn't as talented. It was still pretty talented, but I thought that team had a little bit of a little more guts to them than this team has.
I've looked into that team before. The receivers on that team were nuts. It was like Michael Thomas and a bunch of guys who would go on to play for a decent while in the NFL, right? But they also, like that Ohio State team, they got one of the worst Bama team. Who was the quarterback for Bama? It was like the worst quarterback Bama's run out there that has made the playoff or the BCS.
Was that
the guy who was moving from receiver to quarterback and back?
Sims?
Yes. Yeah. Right. I mean, like Sims, not a capable thrower at a championship level, honestly. And so they took advantage of that. Bama had a couple issues that year. They beat them. Dalvin Cook fumbles 4 times in the Rose Bowl as he's averaging like 12 yards carry against Oregon, and then they bully Oregon at the line of scrimmage, and beat Mariota.
I mean, they had their 3rd string quarterback in, so
right.
it's like, Braxton Miller.
That's what I mean. Is
JT. Yeah, it's like they weren't as talented at the quarterback position as they are right now, but they had good players, and I felt like the defense was a little saltier too.
I think so. Look, so if Ohio State, well, we need to stop using if. When Ohio State gets in, I am curious to see if Ohio State is able to lean on its front 7 more and have a little more variety in terms of the coverage, not coverage it plays, but just the depth of their safeties, right? Maybe don't have everybody quite so close. I know it's a Jim Knowles defense.
Do you dare him again? Do you dare him?
I'm going to dare them on some plays for sure. I just don't know if I'm going to dare them quite as frequently. I think back to that Penn State game where JT Tuimoloau had a really nice ball game. They have some good players on that Ohio State front. But Tom, it's a great question though. Like, would you dare them? Because Michigan, again, 360 yards on 5 plays, 3.0 on their other 54 plays. Like,
I think
on 54 out of 60 plays, they had a pretty nice day.